Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Toby Shuka. I'm the choir director here at Union Plateau Richland. And before the band comes out to play tonight, but before they play for you tonight, I'd like to go over a few little rules of etiquette with you. There's a lot of people here, a lot of students from a lot of different places around the world, a lot of different cultures, and a lot of students who are here at their first, shall we say, Western academic art music concert. And the rules are a little bit different from other concerts you might have been used to. So I'm going to go over a few of those really quickly. If you know these like the back of your hand, I do apologize. Bear with me. Number one, those wonderful devices that we all carry in our pockets. Make sure that they are silenced and or off. If you do use those devices to take pictures of the groups, which is fine, make sure that the flash is off, because it's hard to read music when you're blinded. If you do use those devices to record video recordings of our performances for your personal in-home use, that is fine. However, if you were to post those videos to a sharing site such as YouTube, that would be a violation of copyright law and would be a no-no, so please don't do that. If you do, and the copyright police come to your house and then call the mattress police because you cut the tags off, that's on you, it's not us, I told you not to do it. All right, and once you have your phone silenced, please put them in your pocket unless you are taking pictures or videos, because it would be really rude for these fine folks who have worked very hard on their music for you to have the phone out and staring at that instead of their baby that they are presenting to you. So please make sure that those go away and are not used for distraction. Also, they do distract other people. If you have a cough tonight, coughing does happen and we are okay with that. If you choose to use cough drops to keep those coughs away, please unwrap them ahead of time, because that's really actually worse than the coughing is the crinkly stuff. All right, if you must get up and move, like out of the auditorium, by the way, if you didn't notice before, restrooms are along that hallway out there, and along this hallway out here, although I suggest that doorway. Please do so in between musical performances, during applause, during times when guys like me are just gabbing away up here. Then go ahead and exit at that time. And if you don't get back before the music starts playing again, please wait on the side until the music has stopped and you can find your seat again without distracting other people. And finally, of course, for those students who have not been in this kind of concert before, with concerts with amplified music, often we talk to each other, and we even yell at each other, and it's all okay because the music is so darn loud. That's not the case here. Oftentimes it's very delicate, only a few people playing at a time or singing at a time. So please make sure that you are not talking to your neighbor while the music is being performed. All right, if I have scolded you enough now, I would like to say that it's time for our performance, which you actually came for, and so I will invite the band to concert master, concert mistress, take it away. Thank you.
Richland. We're so glad that you're here. I can't tell you what a weird thing this is. First of all, my name is Eric Brewer, and this is the UW Richland Community Band. But one of my pet peeves about this formal concert is that there's this dividing line from the performers and the audience. And if you could bring up the house lights for a moment, Thomas. The idea is to create the community and divide and eliminate this line. And sometimes we carry this line with us when we go outside. But for now, we are a community as one. So let's pretend we're in church. Everybody stand up, turn to your neighbor, and say, "Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming." Everybody stand up.
빨리 뒤돌아.
The important thing about this community is that we're all in it together. We're here to make great music, have a great time, meet some new friends, and get acquainted with some old ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of fun, enjoy this concert. I'll talk a little bit more throughout, but for now, go ahead and bring the house lights back down. For now, we're going to play a piece that's very near and dear to my heart called Toccata Martial. Now, it is not a misprinting in your program. We are going to play this piece twice, but rather than bore you with a lot of gibble-gobble right now, please just enjoy this piece and have fun. bit of Americana. Martin Gold, of course, is an American composer. And this next composer, Leonard Bernstein, is a little bit more famous. This is the 100th anniversary of his birth. And many of you know famous melodies from this musical West Side Story. It's the modern day retelling of Romeo and Juliet, except set in downtown Manhattan. And instead of Capulets and Montagues, it's Sharks and Jets. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants against Puerto Ricans. And it does not end well for the parties involved. But this music has lived on for the better part of 60 years now and has become a part of the American vernacular. One of the things that I really love about Leonard Bernstein is not only did he write great music, but he was also very passionate about bringing music to the masses and talking about music. He had several lectures. He did famously the children's concerts with the New York Philharmonic back in the 40s and 50s. And so this piece of music is really in honor of him. A lot of these tunes you will know. This is West Side Story. it's rare. We're going to play a piece twice that we've never played before. The choir's leaving. I was hoping to get that help, but that's okay. You guys can do it. So, first thing is first. Why are we doing this? It's unusual. Well, the first thing is, this is a live performance. How often do you go to a live performance? If I had my druthers in my ideal world, we would meet every week and perform for you every week. We'd get together and we'd make music on a regular basis. That doesn't really happen with all our gadgets and gadgets and whiz-bangs and whoop-zoos. So we're going to take advantage of what it's like to be in a live performance and talk about the music a little bit and demonstrate for you, and then have a chance to give you another opportunity to hear this piece. And also important is to give them another chance to play it. They've worked very hard on this piece for the past couple months, and there's a lot going on in this piece that you might have missed the first time. So I want to just talk about some simple ideas, demonstrate a couple of things, then we'll perform it again. So the first thing to know is that Rafe Vaughan Williams, and his name is pronounced Rafe, even though it's not spelled like Ralph, it is Rafe Vaughan Williams. He was an English composer born in the early 1870s and died in 1958. And he is on that brink where industrialization turns into the modern world, and he experiences and lives through World War I and World War II. But as an English composer, he was really passionate about an English identity in national music. So what does English music sound like? And so he tried to consolidate a lot of different ideas, but three main ones I want to demonstrate in this piece are, number one, church music. Rafe Vaughan Williams was very into Renaissance and medieval church music. He was also very passionate about the Baroque music, Baroque period. People like Johann Sebastian Bach and Georg Telemann. And he was also big into folk songs. He and several of his contemporaries would roam the countryside and get little grannies and grandpas to sing tunes that they sang back in the early 1800s. And they collected all these folk songs and incorporated it into their music. So the first idea is to understand how this piece begins. What's its seed? So I'm going to try something, and I was hoping the choir would be here, but they're not, so we'll trudge on. I'm going to sing a note, and I want you to sing that note back to me. I. That's close. Breathe deep, lots of gusto. I love. Together. I love music. 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 Big. I love music. I love music. I love music. Fantastic. Everybody, when you walk out the door, Toby will be taking names. You can sign up for the choir next semester. They meet every Monday night at 6 o'clock. You're ready. Okay, so that four-note figure is the seed by which this whole piece is put together. And it's interesting, just to give a little bit of background, Vaughan Williams had gone to the Isle of Wight one day to hear a famous preacher sermonize. And during the sermon, the preacher was talking, becoming more passionate, and his speech got to be more like singing. And some of the natural intervals that Williams recognized were those notes that I just gave you, 4 simple notes. So, how those notes are incorporated in this piece, I'm going to show you. So, number 1. This is pick up to rehearsal 7. Now that makes a very simple tune, but he uses it in even smaller, deceptive ways that you might not notice the first time, like at the very beginning in the baritone saxes. Just that quick. Now, if you take that interval, which is up a fourth, and you invert it and go down a fifth, you get a very famous melody in this piece that's a folk song. This is 74. So that's how that little four-note figure that we all sang together gets permeated throughout this piece. And so what's interesting is as this piece is going on, you're kind of hearing singing come to life. Now, that's the folk song side of it. That's the intervallic side of it. The next thing is the scales and the church modes. So this is a regular, everyday B-flat major scale that all of us in band have played every day in life. Yeah. By changing two little notes, it becomes the B-flat Dorian scale. Now that's a church mode that a lot of Renaissance and medieval composers used, and you'll hear it right off the bat in the baritone saxes when they play that very first phrase. And so you will hear that kind of scale throughout the piece. The next thing is the harmonies. The harmonies are really rich. So this is an example of what a traditional composer would write as a harmonization. Now, the whole band, 3 4 21. Slow. We're in a very different world here. Okay, the last couple things. The Baroque period has a couple of technical compositional devices that are really important in this piece. The first one is the engine that drives this machine. That's the bass line. You will hear a bass line throughout this whole composition, except for a couple of different places. And it sounds very much like this. And then finally, one of the famous things that Baroque composers do is they have one voice play a little figure, and then immediately another voice enters right after it. So here, this example where one voice enters a figure and then the second one plays the same thing, just a second later. Right on me. So that's a taste of what Bernstein used to do with his concerts back in the day, and I hope this illuminates some of this piece for you. So all of these things that we've talked about, I hope you can latch onto them as we perform this again. And one last thing, please come and talk to us in the reception afterwards. There's cookies, cakes, coffee, milk, tea, all kinds of things. So that'll be in the Roadrunner Cafe after the concert. And once again, thank you so much for coming.
So good evening again. That was a small group of the choir members who volunteered to take this piece of music home and mostly learn it on their own. And then we had, I think, 3 meetings after rehearsal was over for everybody else to put that together. And so it's a fun little piece. Deck the Halls in 7/8, as you might have noticed. It's in 7/8 time, which means that each measure was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, except for the third measure of every 4 was 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then back to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. It sounds really complicated, but once you get the swing of it, it's actually pretty cool. All right, so this is going to be the choir portion of the concert. We're going to open up the curtains and let the choir walk on. We have to move the piano forward a little bit, and I will see you again once we get started. tonight's concert for the choir is entitled Winter/Time. Everything we're doing tonight is one of those two categories. It probably should have been wintertime winter, but that didn't have quite the same effect. So we are done with the first part of the winter session, and now, much like the weather outside, we're going to take a break from winter, and we are going to sing about time for a little bit. Our first piece is O Light Everlasting by Olaf Christensen. This next piece is a little bit different in that there are no lyrics per se. It's pretty much all sound effects. And you'll see what I mean once we get started. This is the fourth movement of a longer piece entitled Timepieces, but we are tonight only doing the fourth movement entitled Clocks by Stephen Chapman. This is a good time as I announce that our soloists in the next piece in order are Stephanie Cooper, Jill Cohens, Danny Zadrazil, Will
Blake.
Blake, thank you, Will Blake. Yeah, put yourself under pressure sometime trying to remember names. Will Blake, Evan Levy, and Weiss Aaron Howe? Okay. Weiss Aaron Howe. There we go. And also to apologize, if you'll notice that when Stephanie was in the band, she was from Richland Center, and when she's in the choir, apparently she's not from anywhere because someone left the hometown off of that one. I have to fire that proofreader again. So without further ado then, our next piece is a African-American spiritual, actually very composed, that is written by the composer, not arranged from a traditional folk song, but rather written as a spiritual right from the get-go by Hall Johnson, and it's called Ain't Got Time to Die.
Lord, I keep so busy praising my Jesus. Keep so busy praising my Jesus. Keep so busy praising my Jesus. Ain't got time to die. When I'm feeling the same, I'm praising my Jesus. When I'm feeling the same, I'm praising my Jesus. When I'm feeling the same, I'm praising my Jesus. Ain't got time to die. 'Cause it takes all of my time to praise my Jesus. All of my time to praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rock's gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die.
Oh, I keep so busy working for the kingdom.
case, doesn't need that much explanation except for the composer's name, which is not a pink zebra on their birth certificate, but rather this is a film and commercial composer who doesn't want to water down their name in that industry by writing too much stuff under the same name for educational groups like choirs and bands. And so he chose the name Pink Zebra as his nom de plume. So I actually do not know who that composer is. I think that's the whole idea. But suffice it to say, you probably have seen some movies or some commercials with music that this person has written, but under their own name and not Pink Zebra. So as silly as that sounds, this is Winter Dreams by Pink Zebra.
Dreams.
now comes the time that all of you have been waiting for. Oh, thank you. We need to give away these beautiful poinsettias because they'll just die here on stage, no one will water them or anything. So, if you will look at the tickets in your hand that you got on the way in. Our first winner, and by the way, it's first come, first served, so if you like the little ones, take the little ones. You want the white ones, take the white ones. You want the huge ones? If you're first, you get your choice. First one is 3895984. 3895984. Any winners? Got it. Okay, come on up. Pick your planet. Come on down. Next one. Yeah, it's that time of life. 3895964. 964. Do you have a winner on that one? 964? They went home early? Well, that's what you get. How about 924? 924, come on down, pick your poinsettia. 980. 980? 980, really that many people left early? Oh, man. Hurt my feelings. 922. 922? All right, we got another winner. 3 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 to go? No. 7. 905. 905. Do we have a 905? Got a winner? All right. 930. 930, come on down, pick out your poinsettia. I gotta make sure that I have enough left. 1, there's some over here too, don't forget. There's 3 over here as well. 901. 901? Got a winner? All right. We got one more winner then. One more after this last one comes down. 936. 936? Got it? Okay, come on down. Pick your poinsettia. Well, there's really one choice left. But, all right. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you very much. I'm going to go set these down. I'm going to introduce the hustlers to come back down again. Thank you. I'm going to introduce to Ms. Erin Starks. She's going to assist as a 4-handed piano accompaniment on this piece. The piece is entitled Jingle All the Way. I think you know what that is. So I'll just let you enjoy that and say before we leave, make sure to go out into the commons, the cafeteria, and the Roadrunner Cafe where we have treats, including coffee and bars, ready for you to enjoy in a short reception. And once all of the performers have put all their stuff away, then they'll come out and they'll devour what's ever left of the food, and then everyone can go home happy and full and just watch yourself on the roads. They're pretty good, but still a little bit slickery. And thank you so much for coming, and happy holidays. gentlemen, please head on out and enjoy some snickerdoodle bar, or what do they call them? Scotcheroo bars, and some pumpkin bars, and chocolate chip bars, and some nice hot coffee. Right out in the cafeteria. We'll see you out there shortly.